What's up, NOGIMATRATS? Welcome back. We've got Demetrius Johnson rolling with Garry Tonon. Starting in the standing position, Demetrius going for the double, turning around the corner, looking for the back. Garry just rolls through defensively, looking to frame, bringing his knees to his chest. And this is a really great example of how two people should roll together to learn. Garry is much more of a defensive grappler than Demetrius. Demetrius is a little bit smaller, but a lot faster. Garry countering the single leg attack with the Kimura is going to sweep him over. Demetrius turns in and breaks that grip. The pace that these guys roll at is non-stop, but they don't waste a lot of energy because they're both flowing together so well. Now watch how Garry uses a simple shoulder roll to defend, and you're going to see that a lot throughout this round. He loves that shoulder roll, and he uses it to attack the legs. Watch here, Garry looking to roll through for the leg, but Demetrius kicks his leg back. Garry just inverts back into the guard. Now Garry Tonons is really well known for his defensive jiu-jitsu. He's one of the hardest guys to submit out there, and if you haven't seen it already, check out this armbar escape that he hit against Kron Gracie. This was in ADCC Beijing in 2013, and Kron Gracie was expected to win. Garry Tonon was a nobody. He just came out of nowhere and he escaped this armbar, took the back of Kron, but then Kron managed to turn the match around, take Garry's back and finish with a rear naked choke. DJ using the 2-on-1 to create some space to enter into the single leg X. Watch how he passes the leg to the other side to create a clear opening for the back. He's going to come up for the wrestle here. One thing DJ does really well is he wrestles up from the bottom position. That's definitely due to his MMA training. You never want to stay on the bottom position in MMA when they're striking. It's just a completely different game. Now watch here, they're going to enter into a scramble. DJ's going to come up on that leg. Garry's going to roll through, but DJ's going to time it this time. Garry's going to keep his knees to his chest to stop the hooks coming in. He's going to pivot off to the side and start building his base. Now look at this position here. Most people don't have the lower back, hamstring, glute, shoulder flexibility to roll into this position safely without risking some kind of injury. So if we want to move fluidly and safely, we need to work on our mobility outside of our jiu-jitsu training to improve our hips and shoulders ability to perform on the mats. That's why I've created an 8-week full body mobility program just for grapplers. You can check the link out down below. You don't need any fancy equipment. It's 3 20-minute sessions a week. You can do it alongside your training. So why not invest into your long-term jiu-jitsu by getting a structured program that works? Garry passing the guard here. DJ's framing and preventing that chest-to-chest connection. That's going to allow him to turn out and start working up towards the hips. But Garry's going to posture up on that single leg with the head inside the legs. DJ's going to test for the leg scissor here, but Garry's going to posture down into the combat base. That protects his leg. Now obviously both these guys are elite grapplers, so they're not going to injure each other and do stupid things in training, but that leg scissor can be really dangerous if done recklessly. Check out this example. That guy has not got an MCL anymore. So unless you're DJ or Garry Tonon, don't be that guy who dives on the leg scissor when someone picks up a single. Now watch here how Demetrius works to get his feet both to the inside position, getting hold of the butterfly guard, and watch how he immediately gets control of both of the legs here. DJ playing to his advantage because he's small. He's going to roll through the back of the space between Garry's legs here, and he's going to look to start coming up on a single. Garry bends the knee and starts removing the hooks. Both guys just flowing and testing out the positions. Now watch this key detail here. Demetrius got a good look at the back, but Garry's going to reach that left hand through, controlling the waist, and that's going to allow him to turn out and protect his back, putting him in a good position to start working the pass. And we're going to move on here to a little bit of wrestling. DJ and Garry both have really good wrestling. Watch this nice defense for the single leg. Garry's going to grab the whizzer and he's going to pull up and kick his leg back. That's going to clear the single leg. Now pay attention to the left arm of Garry. He's letting Demetrius control his wrist, but if you look how Garry moves his arm around, he actually has control over Demetrius' arm as well, and he uses that a lot to set up his duck unders. Garry again using that roll to get out of a bad situation. Demetrius shooting in for a really nice double leg there, comes up for the underhook. And now obviously jiu-jitsu and MMA are two different sports completely. When there's striking involved, the bottom game of jiu-jitsu quickly gets dismantled. If there was striking involved in this match, I'm sure Garry would do okay because he has trained MMA, but check out how Demetrius works on the top position when there's striking involved. And this wasn't against a nobody, this was against Wilson Race. He's a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. In MMA, you do not want to be on the bottom position. It is the worst place to be. The guy can just punch and rain down on you. Whereas in Jiu-Jitsu, there's no problem pulling guard. Just look at how tight that armbar is from Demetrius. And the way that he set it up was by making the guy turn using punches. It just adds another element to the game. Nice double leg from Demetrius, looking to duck around the back. Garry holding onto the lat and posting on his hand, keeping his legs wide. Potentially looking for a leg, but look how he controls that wrist. That's going to stop Demetrius from posturing up and progressing, and that's a really nice example of how one small control can stop someone's progress and help you escape. he changed that wrist grip to a whizzer, which allowed him to break free from the position. One thing that Demetrius does really well when he's wrestling is his head movement's great, and I think that's because he trains with striking. So even though Garry's not throwing punches, when he goes to post and block on the shoulders and the forehead, Demetrius uses head movement to counter and close the distance. Now watch this key detail here. Demetrius gets the rear body lock. Look how Garry posts on the knees. That's going to stop Demetrius stepping the knee in front of Garry's leg, blocking the back take. And Garry doesn't feel too uncomfortable in these rear body lock situations because he's really good at forward rolling, and that can either break the grip around the waist or allow him to enter in onto the legs. Garry is a master of defensive jiu-jitsu, so you can see how he's allowing Demetrius to work into good positions, keeping his head low, offering the front headlock. He doesn't mind working out of these positions because he understands the defensive game. He understands where the space is and what movements he can make. Again, Demetrius arm dragging to the back, Garry looking for that lat grip, upgrading to the whizzer. And obviously guys, this is not a hard roll. They're not fighting. They're just exploring each position and working together as a team to improve and learn. They're helping each other rather than trying to beat each other, and this is a really good way to train if you want to improve your jiu-jitsu and get more understanding, rather than the typical open mat session where you roll hard every Friday for no real reason. You're not competing, you just want to leave the gym feeling beat up, and that's not good for the body. It might be fun when you're in your 20s, but when you get to 30s, 40s, longevity becomes part of the picture and you need to take it into consideration. So take this as a great example of how you can roll to stay on the mats longer. And if jiu-jitsu is already taking its toll on your body, it's a great idea to implement some kind of flexibility or mobility training, maybe even some yoga. And if that's something you're interested in, I'll leave a link to my personal mobility work that I do alongside my own training down below.